Hi, I'm in my book nook. Here's Peanut. I am constantly reading, and if you're watching this, then you might love reading as much as I do. So today I wanted to share with you some books that I think all freelancers should read. Some are about money, some are about leadership, others are about mindset, but all important things that will very actively play a role in your life and your career and how you're able to grow your business. Yes, I have read all of these. Some I have the hard copies here that I'll show you. Others I borrowed or got from the library, so I don't have the physical copy. But yeah, let's get into it. So first up, Atomic Habits. Can you see it? Here. That's it, by James Clear. Everything we do, good and bad, is a result of having formed a habit, okay? So this means that habits are the foundation of pretty much everything, which includes your career as a freelancer. What I love about this book is that I've read about habit forming a lot, and what I hate is that a lot of people tell you that you have to overhaul your life and make these huge changes in order to see real progress, which is not true, nor is it sustainable. Think about, New Year's resolutions and why the majority of us, it's like 80-90% of people fail. It's because they try to do too much. So what James Clear suggests instead is essentially the idea of trying to be 1% better every day. And you do this by forming atomic habits, like micro habits. And by doing something more manageable, more sustainable, you're going to make much better progress that will last. It might not sound as heroic or as sexy, but it doesn't need to, because when it comes to breaking habits or forming habits, what matters is, do they work? This book it offers really good, concrete advice. What I've disliked about other books I've read in the past about habit forming is that they're so just vague. They say things like, if you want to form new habits, then associate them with something positive. You think? You gotta do better than that, buddy. So this is really tangible advice. One way I've applied this to my own business, Instagram specifically, is a platform that I am forever trying to grow, usually unsuccessfully. So, I've always had the goal of grow my Instagram page, but that is so nebulous and very difficult to grasp, and it's also completely abstract. What does that even mean? So instead, what I've done is I've set the goal for myself to spend 5 minutes every day, just 5 minutes, getting on my phone, going on other people's Instagram pages that I genuinely like, and liking their content and leaving a few comments. And it is 100% authentic. I'm not doing it because I expect anything in return. I just know that social networking is about interacting with other people. So I carve out 5 minutes every day, which is very doable. It's an atomic habit. And that's me putting effort into growing my Instagram. And I know that in the long run, it's going to help me improve my page. I might not see it right now, but that's okay. It's not about overnight success. It is a marathon. All right, next book. I had borrowed this, so I don't have the physical copy. Extreme Ownership. This was written by 2 Navy SEALs. I'm going to tell you right now because I said I would be, I always say I'll be transparent with you. This book has a really powerful message. It's also very repetitive, very redundant. So I just wanted to give you that heads up because after finishing the book, I was like, this could have been trimmed down by like a solid 100 pages. But regardless, I still loved it. I still recommend it. So Extreme Ownership, you can probably guess from the title, it's all about accepting radical, complete, 100% accountability in life, whether things go right or they go wrong. Ideally, they go right, and a lot of this book is talking about how you can lead and win. Now, as a freelancer, you might not view yourself as a leader in a very traditional sense, but you are. You are the leader of your business, you are the leader of your income, and in a sense, you are a leader for your clients. Everything that happens in your business, whether it's amazing or awful, comes down to you. And that's terrifying because that's going to force you to accept responsibility for everything, but shift your mindset a little bit because it's also very liberating. That tells you that you probably have more control over your business than you think. This was a huge help for me because one of my weaknesses in the past, I don't want to say I played the victim card, but I definitely felt like I was at people's mercy. Like, I would let them dictate way too much for me, dictate the way I feel, the way I work. So it wasn't like this, oh, poor me, woe is me. I just thought I was not in control. And that was on me. It wasn't on them. That was a standard that I needed to raise. So this book really helped me to wake up, take control, and be a lot stronger and a lot more aggressive in a positive way with my business. By the way, don't let anyone tell you that being aggressive is a bad thing. It's not. And personally, I do have a small team. I have, a couple people that work for me. And as the owner of my business and the leader of my team, extreme ownership really helped me to kind of stand up. My business is no longer just about me. It's also about the people that work with me. It is our business. I am 100% responsible for how my business helps or hurts the people on my team. That comes down to me. Up next, the one thing. As a freelancer, you might have already noticed that it's very easy to kind of be scattered mentally. And that's very understandable because as a business owner, at any given point, there might be 20 different things demanding your attention. It can be even harder if you tend to struggle with shiny object syndrome. The one thing will help you with your priorities and your productivity, and it will help you clear out a lot of the clutter that is preventing you from succeeding faster. In my own business, this has helped me become really crystal clear and laser focused on exactly what I want to do and what outcomes I'm trying to achieve. It's not unlike how I always tell people in their business to pick a niche. And I'm telling them to focus on one thing because if you try to focus on 20 things, at best, you're going to be mediocre at them. But if you pick one thing or two things, you can really hone your expertise there and be really, really good at them. And those people tend to make way more money. The next book on my list, I also borrowed this from someone else, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. I'm going to say F so I don't get flagged by YouTube. So this is more of a mindset self-help book, but it absolutely applies to you as a blossoming freelancer. So I'm not going to lie, I was a little hesitant to read this book, and actually at times it struck a nerve with me. I almost I'd be reading it and I think, who are you to say that? And that's because in the past, looking back now, I was very guilty of toxic positivity. I didn't even know that was a thing. I had read so many self-help books about how, never letting life get you down, never having a bad day, a bad moment. I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. I'm gonna have bad days. And then I saw that as a weakness. But then I started to realize we can only have good days because we have bad days. One doesn't exist without the other. Also, we're human. We're sentient creatures. So there are going to be days when we feel like crap, and it's okay. It's not a weakness. So I'm ultimately very glad I read this book. The author, Mark Manson, he doesn't sugarcoat anything, as you probably guessed by the title, and he says that you should be the same way too. Now, the last thing I wanted to do was go from toxic positivity to extreme skepticism, which was what I thought this book was ultimately going to encourage. But I don't believe that's what he's getting at. Rather, what he's saying is that there are only so many things that you can tremendously care about in a given day. So choose wisely what you give your emotions to. For me, in business and really in life, this is how that concept has manifested. The whole concept of not taking business personally because it's business, that's lost on me. I've sacrificed so much to build this business, and it's my blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm sure you can relate. So when I feel like someone does something to me that's not very nice, which, fortunately doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, yeah, I take it personally, and I make no apologies for that. But what I've gotten really good at is, when I notice myself being triggered by something and feeling mad or upset, I immediately stop, I take a step back, and I go, is this worth being mad? Is this worth being upset? Time is so precious to me that I don't want to waste a second of it on being angry or mad unless it really warrants it. And very often it doesn't. So I let it go and I move on with my life and I go back to being happy. Now, that being said, because we're avoiding toxic positivity here, There will absolutely be times when you should be pissed off and you should be upset and you should cry. No one should take those moments away from you. Those feelings are valid, but don't sweat the small stuff. Your time, your energy is valuable, and once a second passes, it never comes back. So appreciate that time. Next book, 5-Day Weekend. Haha, music to everyone's ears. It's funny if you take a step back and try to examine it from a less biased perspective. We accept this concept of working 9 to 5 Monday through Friday because that's what we've always been taught to do, and many of us work even more than that. But why? Why is the norm to spend more time working than anything else? Is that why we were given this life? I don't think so. So 5-Day Weekend, and again, I'm looking at my notes here, it kind of opens your mind to the idea of establishing multiple streams of income that you are not required to work for so that you can make money passively. Passive income, that's what it's called. And by exploring ways to better manage your money, make money, and invest money, you're going to learn how to hang on to more of that money and also generate more of it, again, without having to actively work for it. And the idea here is for the money that you make to match your lifestyle, the lifestyle that you want. So, the author's not telling you to give up everything in order to save money. That's not the idea here. The idea is to live the life you want, but not have to work like a dog for it. This has been really eye-opening for me. I am a workhorse. I used to be a major workaholic. And for a long time, when I was a little bit younger, that's what brought me purpose in life. That's what made me feel like a worthy human being. And even to this day, I struggle with this. In fact, my boyfriend and I were just talking about this the other night. Outside of my business, I have a hard time understanding what value I bring, which is really sad, but we all fight our little battles. That's one of mine. But I do know that while I love my work, it's also not what I want to be doing every day for the rest of my life. I want to live my life. I want to travel. I want to foster dogs more and be with my boyfriend and be with Peanut, who is farting on me as we speak. So that's where the concepts that the 5-Day Weekend come into play. You don't have to work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. That's just what we've been conditioned to believe. All right, up next, 4 Disciplines of Execution. I have this one right here. A very popular book for professionals. It's funny, a lot of books that people rave about for business owners, I actually end up hating. This one I really liked. So the 4 disciplines are, and I'm gonna mess this up, so I'm gonna read it. Focus on the wildly important, act on lead measures, keep a compelling scoreboard, and create a cadence of accountability. And you can apply these whether you work alone or you have a team. I've applied some of these practices purely for myself. So for example, the concept of keeping a scoreboard. He explains in detail how to do this in the book, so I will let you read it. But the general idea, and this has been backed by research, is that when we see our progress, or lack thereof, when it's right in front of us, in numbers, in black and white, it motivates us. Whether the scoreboard reveals that we're winning or losing, it pushes us. But it helps to see it right there. This is one of the reasons why in my program, in Revenue Spark, they have a sales template that monitors how many emails they're sending and how many deals they're closing, because ultimately that's going to show them if their work is paying off. And when you see the closing rate go up or your monthly income go up, that really pushes you. And if you don't see the numbers go up, it lights a fire under your butt. One of the things that I love about this book, and the same can be said for Atomic Habits, is that it's backed by research. When people kind of talk out of their butt and don't back it up with research, I don't automatically believe it. Show me the data, show me the research. I want to know, has this been proven or established by science, by research? If not, I might not believe it. All right, that's it for this video. I have a lot more books where that came from that will help you as a freelancer, but I want to make sure that you found this video valuable before I go and make another one. If you did, drop me a comment. If you've read any of these already and would like to share your experience with me and with others, go ahead and leave it in a comment. Or, likewise, if you have a recommendation for another book you think we should read, you can drop that in a comment too. All right, thanks so much for watching this. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up And if you haven't, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, take care.
Bye, guys.
You farted on me that entire time. My eyes are burning. Do you have anything to say? No. Okay, cool.